So if my voice does go during the show, bear with me, boys. I have been feeling ropey as you like for the last couple of days.
Well, for an audio podcast, Vasa, that's not exactly ideal.
It's not, but I think I'm okay. It feels like I've swallowed a golf ball, if I'm honest.
I would avoid doing that. Not from personal experience, It's not an occupational hazard. Oh no, I found myself on a golf course and impersonate one of those machines that goes around and picks up the golf balls. So do you think Chipping Norton gave you this throat golf ball infection, or do you think it was somewhere else?
I think I was probably infected by somebody at work, but not going to point fingers until I know the truth. Definitely felt better. I feel this is probably the worst I have felt in terms of my health.
Ian, that's awful. That's not good.
We've made the rounds of being a bit ill.
It was that bad this morning. I couldn't even swallow like a cold tablet. You know, the little round cold liquid gel tablets. I couldn't even swallow one.
What a sentence.
Ian, it was unable to swallow.
A lot of water today.
Oh,
a lot of water.
I'm just got images of you not being able to swallow in. Almost gagging.
It's just drool and spit overflowing. Oh, I can't handle it.
Face down on the bed, drooling. Yes, it's almost like Waterfall's having a stroke.
Save
Great
him.
intro.
Hey, Edgar, welcome in. Kerry, Barside, Sewaddle. I'm guessing that's Francesco, actually, with that name.
Sewaddle.
Sewaddle.
Can we get the Italian name for
The
Sewaddle,
Italian
please?
Sewaddle. Mr. Mossam, welcome in.
Sewaddle. It's not that.
So we're going to translate it. So we are going to go from English.
Does anyone have the Italian Pokemon dictionary?
Italian. So here we go.
I don't think, does the Italian language have their own Pokemon names, or do they just use English ones?
I don't know.
Back in the days of Name That Pokémon, I only ever found
Germans do.
German,
so-
Japanese, and French.
Well, maybe the only languages you were looking up.
Well, apparently, according to this, it is the translation from Sewaddle to Sewaddle in Italian is Sewaddle.
So there you go.
There we go.
On this week's show, Masterful 27 has been dreaming of this community day all year, and finally his dreams come true. Milo and I had a grand tour of a community day last weekend, and I am recovering from something that I either caught in Chipping Norton or at work. Welcome back to episode 189 of the Incensed podcast. I'm Ian Waterfall, and with me, as always, we have Masterful 27 and PoGoMiloUK. Boys, how are we doing?
I obviously want you to be better, Ian. Like, I'm obviously on top of the world with Master Waddle being written.
Master Waddle 27. Why does that sound like it's from Monty Python Ministry of Silly Walks?
Ministry of Silly Walks? I did use a Ministry of Sound in my head just until you took a quick turn left there, Milo. Like, whoa!
That was Milo at the weekend on Sunday.
Backtrack. It's definitely not from the Cotswolds here. It's definitely not from the Cotswolds. The Cotswolds is a nice, clean part of the country. And,
I don't know. It could be. It could be disease riddled. I mean, I came away and I was ill the day, 2 days after.
Well, I didn't see you licking any fence posts at Clarkson's farm, so I think you were okay.
No, and I can't blame the Hawkstone either at the farmer's dog.
No. You can't blame the good stuff.
And actually, I need to put this out there now because I have seen questions about whether I was actually drinking alcohol. Technically, I was. But it was a Spa lager with a 0.3% volume of alcohol.
Is that a Hawkstone one, is it, Ian? He's brought a 0.3 out, has he?
Yeah.
Well, that's good of him, considering that's very good of him.
Good on you, Jezza.
Good on you, Jezza. Small batch, 0.3. Costs more than normal Hawkstone.
Spa lager. It's called a Spa lager.
A Spa lager?
Noise.
He's created his own type of beer. I don't see that on my taps.
You go to his pub and there's about 12 taps of Hawkstone, all different varieties.
All Hawkstone. Yeah. It's beautiful.
And Milo, did you enjoy a beverage?
I did. Mine was slightly stronger in percentage than Vass's.
Well, you had
3.2.
It's 0.4.
To be fair, Milo and I actually went all out and we both had an apple juice. Genuinely.
That's a lie.
Not even a JT Val apple juice. We both had apple juice at the farm.
Yeah.
That is a lie that shows you we're getting to that point of our lives.
No, we did. We genuinely had apple juice.
That's I believe you.
And Milo
Mine was apple and violet.
Well, Milo, welcome to your 40s. It's a
It's all accelerated rapidly. We skipped the whole 30s. Welcome to middle age.
take middle age, won't we, Ian? We'll take middle age.
I'm barely at middle age. I'll take it.
Still, it could be worse.
It could. You could come away ill. Anywho, it is time.
Oi, you sleepy sailors, it's time to drop your incense.
That is
No
quite
votes were
apt
used
because
during this
today,
recording.
All I have done is fell asleep. I've been so
I was
lethargic.
like, all you've been doing is being a sleepy
No, I've just
sailor,
napped all
yes.
day. Seriously,
Oh,
I have
Ian.
napped all day. It's not been good. Although when your body tells you need to sleep, you need to sleep. But if you catch anything that is decent, that you want to shout about, that you want to tell the world about, post it on any of our socials, X, Instagram, or Threads, using the hashtag Shinies of the Week.
Can you clarify the spelling?
I can. That is hashtag SHINIESOFTHEWEEK. Now, they are the main ways you can contact us, but there are others. You can send us a WhatsApp message for your Shinies of the Week on +44 759 269 5696. You can send us an email at contact@incensedpodcast.com. You can hit the send us a message button on your podcast supplier. A lot of them will allow that. Or you can send it by a carrier pigeon.
You.
Send us your good stuff. We might just read it out. Now, there's not a lot happening in Pokemon Go at the moment. However, there's been 2 decent bits of news that came out. So let's start the show by getting straight into the nitty-gritty of what's coming up in the next few weeks.
Is the news.
A little bit turned on then.
Look, Paul's later, mate. Okay, calm down.
So I meant to say my ears pricked up a bit, sorry.
Yeah, your ears pricked up like what's it, the fox Pokemon from Generation 8, Nickit. That's it.
Very good, Milo. Always bring it back round to the game. Love it.
Yes, I'm doing my best because we have to round out September Pokemon Go's Legendary Heroes event, which brings some good stuff from Thursday the 26th of September at 10 a.m. your local time through to October the 1st. It's not a very long event at all, to be honest. 8 p.m. your local time when it concludes, and some event bonuses. They're quite minimal, but nonetheless, special trades will require 50% less Stardust. That's something. And for anybody, I think I said this to a few people, anybody who has themselves a Shadow Shiny Coughing in their storage, you will be able to get one of the more exclusive Shadow Shinies ever, because Coughing will be able to be evolved to Galarian Wheezing for the first and possibly only ever time in the game's history.
I feel like Galarian Wheezing at the moment.
What, from the Industrial Revolution?
Ian, don your top hat, please.
I didn't. You don't look that angry. I guess like there's grey coming out the top of its head, so you got that hairstyle going.
Thank you.
Anyway, Milo.
I'm trying to back up his point.
Dex entry. This will be a name that Pokemon in the future.
Name that Pokemon's Galarian Wheezing. And getting back to it, there's going to be timed research which will be split by the Generation 8 games, the Sword Path or the Shield Path. So you'll be able to access a free branching timed research which will award you some XP, Stardust, and encounters with event-themed Pokemon that are determined by which path you pick. And your collection challenge will also be determined by the path that you choose. And of course, which Pokemon are attracted to incense. Also, we have a little feature in this event.
Ooh.
That's rather snazzy.
We do. So if you pick the Sword Path, your incense encounters will
Nice.
comprise of the following. They're not great, actually. Seedot, Scraggy, Gothita, Dino, Swirlix, and Persimmon. Now,
Could be
all
worse.
of those can potentially be shiny.
Nice.
That's brilliant. Persimmon will be quite cool on that one. But also with the Shield Path, there will be exclusive incense encounters, and these will be possibly slightly better, but maybe not. Larvitar, Lotad, Krogunk, Solosis, Spritzy, and Orangaroo. And they can all, as Ian's path, can all be shiny as well.
Nice.
It's good to see the translucent testicles back after its brief feature in the Psychic Spectacular. Anyway, the general wild encounters are going to be the following. Anybody who missed the epic community day that was just last weekend, Galarian Ponyta is back.
Coughing.
Galarian Darumaka.
Grookey.
I've got marks here. Score Bunny.
Oh, Ian, I've got yours here. Sobble.
And I've got the small squirrel, Squovet, which can be shiny. So there you go. Generation 8 starters are back. That's quite nice.
Yeah. Anyway.
Anyway.
Did they go
Anyway,
away?
I feel like I'm stealing Mark's section here. This feels very odd. So, your 1-star raids, people, the lovely pink eggs. And the good news is that all of these can be shiny. However, Galarian Ponyta, if for whatever reason you were living under a rock last Saturday and you can't be bothered to check the ones in the wild, you could raid for it. So, highly recommend you don't do this. Galarian Darumaka is another one that's in the wild anyway, so not really much point. Gumi, trek your mind back, people. It had a community day this year as well. And Zhangmo, possibly the more rarer one, was shiny released for GoFest Global this year, but still rare one, to be fair.
Yeah, the Jangmo-O is probably the only one worth raiding from that batch. The 3 stars, though...
However,
could be worse. The 3 stars, well, the returning Mons, the Turtonator,
nice.
and Drampa, which I think Marky still said he needs, if I'm not mistaken.
Still need my shiny bloom dog.
So
Absolutely.
the 3 stars, actually, they're ramping up. They're
Clown
they're
art.
okay.
Clown eye, yeah. I got my Turtonator in Madrid, but still need my bloom clown dog thing. Anyway, it might happen. But also with all events, we have 5-star raids and mega raids, and they come in the form for 5-star Zacian, which is obviously, I say obviously, you might not know this. You might have been under a rock when the ponytails are out.
Yeah.
But it is a shiny debut for Zacian in the game, and in the Mega Raids, Mega Gardevoir is going to be coming back around, and it's a good one. It's not been in the game probably a little while, or maybe it's carrying on from the ones it's in at the moment. Bino, help me. Is it in the game at the moment?
Yeah, I think they actually start their cycle with the beginning of this event.
I thought that was the case.
But
So, yeah.
Zacian.
Oh,
Zacian, nice.
Zacian. Zacian's cool, isn't it? I know it's going to be good. But there it
It's
is.
going to be good. The other thing with Zacian, actually, and this hit me, is that I know in the Sword and Shield games, you could only get one, I think, through a code. So they're only able to pick up one of the shinies of Zacian and Zamazenta. So I think technically us mere Pokemon Go players are going to be the first Pokemon enthusiasts who will be able to have more than one shiny Zacian in their possession ever.
Potentially.
I may be completely wrong.
If you raid for more than one, that is.
If you raid more after you've got a shiny, potentially. Who knows? But you are going to be having some collection challenges which will be tailored to the path that you pick with your branched research. And it's basically the same. You just encounter some event-themed Pokemon and you receive some XP. What they're going to be, we don't know. Possibly a Galarian Ponyta, God forbid. You will also be having some field research task rewards, event-themed ones, which will be earning you some rare candy, Stardust, and encounters with Galarian Slowpoke. That's an odd one.
So it's quite interesting with the collection challenges that for once they're telling us in advance what they're going to focus. So catch and trade focus collection challenge. So we're not going to be forced to evolve Pokemon. However, Mark and I, who don't tend to trade very often, will have to find somebody to trade Mons to.
I was like, they've looked at how you guys play and thought, trading. Let's make them do that.
Yeah, we have to be sociable, Ian. What's that all about, eh? Oh, goodness. Anyway, boys, I've got some good news.
What?
Oh, as you alluded to at the beginning, yes, on Saturday, October the 5th, from 2 p.m. to 5 p.m., we have got the Community Day and the featured Pokemon for October's Community Day. Did I say it was on the 5th? Did
You
I?
did say
Yeah,
the
2
5th,
and
yeah,
5
you
p.m.
did.
I did
Yeah,
say that,
yeah.
didn't I? I'm just dragging it out a little bit here, boys.
October the 5th. Remember.
Remember the 5th of October, because yes, if you're lucky, you might encounter a shiny one with a featured attack shadow claw. I'm dragging it out. It's Sewaddle Community Day. It's coming to Pokemon Go, and we predicted, well, we gave our predictions probably a month or so ago.
We did, and Milo said he thought Sewaddle would be October. Don't know how. We both dismissed it as maybe more of a spring Pokemon.
We did, Ian.
To be fair, I thought it was going to be September. Then September didn't happen, so I just kept rolling it on. Eventually, I'd have been right.
But it's amazing. I'm obviously very happy. It is my
I bet you are.
It's my favourite Pokemon in Pokemon Go at the moment. You know, I do change my favourite Pokemon every year, but at the moment it is Sewaddle.
I'm guessing after the 5th of October, it will no longer be your favourite Pokemon.
No, I'll have probably about 1 million of them in my story. Well, I can't delete them. That's going to be a pain, Ian. I'll be stuck with them all.
Oh, no. How many Sewaddle will be in your possession?
This could very much be a game, but no,
Nice.
we're gonna give the top line details. We'll be talking about this more close to the time when we do our little reminder of what's going on. But yes, evolving a Swaddloon during the event, we'll know the featured attack, which is a fast attack, Shadow Claw.
Wow.
Interesting. Shadow Claw will have a. I'm not reading that out. It's not our show. We don't talk about that weird power stuff on battles and gyms. Don't. Go elsewhere if you want to know that information.
It does things.
It does things.
Don't ask what.
But no, there will be a Community Day research special ticket for $1 or the equivalent pricing. And unfortunately, they've tried their best to dampen the enthusiasm that I've got for Sewaddle by putting the event bonuses to quarter egg hatch distance during it. But hey, it's not going to work because along with the standard event bonuses, we will still be getting the 2 times candy for catching Pokemon. We'll be getting the 2 times chance for trainers level 31 and above to receive Candy XL. Lure modules will last 3 hours. The incense, excluding that daily incense, will last for 3 hours. Snapshots, I might actually remember to do them for this one. You know, a special trade can be made for maximum for 2 for the day, with 50% less Stardust than special trades. After the Community Day, there will be the bonus raid battles. Yes, 4-star raid battles will appear, and Swaddloon a 4-star battle. Wow. If you do that, you'll have spawns of Sewaddles around it for 30 minutes after the usual window of 2 till 5. Get the showcases and all that stuff on the website. Guys, we know what October is now, and it's another early one into the month. This is good.
It really is an early one in the month. I've just checked the calendar, and the Community Days
First
just seem
weekend,
to be
isn't
like
it?
bang, 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 like so quick fire. It's 2 weeks on Saturday, 2 weeks yesterday.
To be fair, the gap between Sewaddle and whatever November's going to be is quite big.
Yes.
So it's a bit of a breather there. But Mark, you missed out the best thing about the whole Community Day, the stickers.
Oh, yeah. Well, I had to leave some good stuff, didn't I?
Those stickers are just the best thing I've ever
Adorable.
laid my eyes on.
Those stickers are pretty cool. They just make you gush over Sewaddle, don't they, really?
What?
They just make you gush over Sewaddle.
Drool.
He's drooling now. He's gushing. Help him! He's on the
leaking
floor.
everywhere.
Stickers look great, don't
mess
they?
with
them.
They really
They
do
do.
come out with the
They
stickers.
really, really do.
So, boys, what do we think about this one? I can see that Mark is literally, he's got a smile from ear to ear, just like Sewaddle. What do we think about it, Milo?
I'm not really sure that's a smile from Sewaddle. It looks like it's slightly disturbed and in pain from
It's because I'm smiling
the
so much.
expression
It
it
looks concerned.
So I think for us as a trio, potentially our listeners, it might be a little bit more hype because of how much we've bleated on about it over the last God knows how
Year
many
and a
years.
half.
Literally, it's been that long. And finally, it's happening. From the immediate reactions, what I've looked around on social media and stuff, a lot of people are rather disappointed because, no offense,
They
to
don't understand the
Sewaddle,
uses that you can use a Sewaddle for.
yeah,
They're
like
not
exercising
this-
your thumb on the transfer button.
Yeah,
It's really
All
good.
right, Milo.
grinding it
Harsh.
up. Yeah.
It's not
Yeah,
Weedle,
grind-
Milo. Chill out.
Grind up Sewaddle. That's what we're all about here. Should we go to Amsterdam for this one?
Shall we?
Oh,
We
That'd be
could.
a
We so
jokes
could.
trip.
We'd have to set up for like midnight, but we could do it.
All fly over there. That'd be amazing. No, I think a lot of people are a bit gutted that it isn't once again a kind of Halloween month themed Pokemon. But to be fair, we had Timber last year, and this is on the 5th of October. It's right at the beginning
It's
of
not even
October.
Halloween. I know that the Americans start celebrating Halloween in August, but it's
Well,
June. I was going to say July. Ian.
to be fair,
you're
I've
right.
seen Halloween decorations in shops around here in the UK in August.
But yeah,
So
the 5th of October really isn't Halloween. And it really, I suppose, strictly is the end of summer, isn't it? Let's be honest.
yeah, I think it's great, to be honest. It ticks another 3-stage Pokemon as a new shiny off the list. As we said, for Dynamo, the quarter egg bonus can frankly rot in hell. I don't care for it whatsoever. I'll just enjoy the day picking up some new shiny stuff. But there's one thing, actually, having looked at the Gen 5 decks. This is the final family of Pokemon in Gen 5 yet to be released as shiny. The only one left after this is Deerling and Sawsbuck. Everything else that's going to be ahead for Unova Tour is either a mythical or a regional. So
That's about right, actually. October and what 4 or 5 months to the tour.
Yeah.
That's about right.
Ian, he does his research, doesn't he, the boy? He
Just
does
throw
his
the-
I'm not
research.
hosting. I have to make myself useful.
Yeah, I'll take my Sewaddle tinted glasses off, which I broke yesterday, which are fixed again now. This is what I would call a Pokemon Shiny Dex filler. It's a true 3-stage family. It makes sense. With Unova Tour 5 months away, they're not going to leave these Pokemon for the tour. You'd imagine they'd save the juicy stuff for the tour. And, if you listen to the show, you'll know you'll know my love for Sewaddle, but you'll love it. And if you're commenting on it on social media and you don't love it, then I'm going to block you. So
You heard it here.
Poke M27.
oh god.
So I suppose the question is, and it's only 2 weeks away, are the three of us going to hang out and do another community day together?
I think we definitely should, just for the sake that it's Mark's Mon. Really?
We have to for this one. I mean, we do have to for this one.
We do really, don't we? I think we really do.
We'll have to. We'll think of somewhere creative to play it. But yeah, definitely Sewaddle Community Day.
Milo's already flown to Amsterdam.
Goodness gracious.
I'm not driving there again.
Well, no, it's only an hour's flight to Schiphol Airport.
Yeah, let's just fly over.
Let's see what we come up with.
Let's make our own
Nothing's
city
been ruled
safari.
out.
There's not going to be one in Europe. We're doing our own in Amsterdam.
Take it
Well,
to
Van Del
Paris.
Pot was actually really nice.
That was good. Yeah, Sewaddle in Amsterdam.
That would be
Sewaddle.
classic. I would love to do that. And actually, if I remember right, the flights aren't too extortionate. But boys, the excitement for Sewaddle is building. But we talked about a returning legendary in raids for the Legendary Heroes event. Yes, Zacian is coming to raids. So it's only right that the Counter Brothers give you a bit of a heads up about what to use.
Oh yeah, sorry, I forgot the jingle.
Milo.
I was Googling flights to Amsterdam.
So Zacian is back in Tier 5 raids, and we're all looking forward to it. It's a great Pokemon. It's a really nice shiny. At level 20, standard Raidmon, you're looking for a CP of 2188 or a weather boosted CP of 2735.
With being a pure fairy type, Zacian is boosted by the cloudy weather, but it has a weakness to steel and poison type Pokemon.
And of course, that means anybody who was playing and managed to get themselves a nice fused Necrozma, the best pick, the best counter overall is going to be the Dusk Mane returning, having used it against Xerneas. Metal Claw and Sunsteel Strike on that thing will demolish this dog with sausages around its neck.
Sausages.
They sort of look like sausages, don't they? Drampers around its neck. I'm not sure that's what the creative team were going for, but hey.
So if you're lucky enough to have a decent Shadow Beldum that you've evolved all the way, Shadow Metagross is your second best counter. You're going to look for the moveset of Bullet Punch and Meteor Mash, which will do some serious damage.
And completing the podium in third place, we have got Mega Gengar. That's with the fast move Lick, which is actually a ghost type move, but it has a charge move of Sludge Bomb, which is its poison move.
There is an Ultra Beast that you could utilize, Nihiligo, with a full poison moveset. Poison Jab and Sludge Bomb is a little way down the counter list, but is still a prime usable Pokemon.
As is one of my favourite Pokemon, Dialga. A little bit further down the list, it's Steel type, Metal Claw and Iron Head is the moveset you're looking for, and you can't go wrong using a Dialga, really.
I'd agree with you on that one, and I do give it a bit of stick, actually, but Toxicroak, Shadow Toxicroak, with Poison Jab as a poison move and Sludge Bomb, well, they're both poison moves, why am I saying that? Just double poison move, it's up there.
There you go. I seem to remember Dwayne, one of our Patreon squad, actually has the Hundo Shadow ready. So, Dwayne, better get to level 50, sunshine. Now, we do like to recommend a potential budget pick, or perhaps something a bit more ridiculous. I'm going to go for a more sensible budget pick. Excadrill in the regular form with Metal Claw and Iron Head, because Drilbur's around, it's only 50 candy to evolve it, and it's not too bad to walk it if you need to get candy for it. So, yeah, throw the overgrown mole at this dog, which is weird because dogs usually dig out moles.
They do.
They do. They do.
Dogs usually dig out flowers as well. So you could actually use, if you have one,
Give it to Ian.
your Roserade. I've gone steel type all the way through, but for my last suggestion, Roserade, especially the shiny one, that's actually really pretty shiny. Poison
Nice.
Jab and Sludge Bomb is the moveset you'd be looking for on that.
I'm going to pick one which would probably only benefit Steve from Norway, but
I know which one.
Jirachi is in there.
Nice.
With the Charge Beam and Doom Desire. I'm sure you've got that to level 50 now, mate. So power that one all the way up and use that against the dog with a sausage mane.
You have no excuse now, Steve.
No, you really don't. And good luck trying to get hold of your shiny Zacians.
Because it's a good shiny.
It really is.
Good dog, good dog. Wow. I heard Milo play a soundbite earlier and it got me a little bit. It almost jogged a memory in my head, but no, not that one. We're going to let some more air down there. Don't worry, Kitty. I had a trapdoor noise.
I'm not going to send the cow down.
Goodness gracious, I don't think Kitty will be able to get out if we block the edge. Hey! It's Kitty around for another round. And Ian came up with a good idea, Kitty. I don't know how you're going to feel about this, but we're going to play another round of Name That Pokémon Reverse Edition.
I felt bad for Noah and Mark, actually, because, to be fair, and for the both of you as well, because you didn't really get a look in last week, did you?
All right, Ian. It's true, but...
and you know, it's my show this week as well, so I kind of can do what I want. So I'm actually taking control of the game and see if Kitty can make it 5 weeks in a row with winning, because she's putting us to shame, boys.
Well, guys, I think the only way we're going to have a chance of beating is if you give us the answers before it, Ian. You know, that might help us. Who knows, eh?
But Ian's a cruel and unpredictable mistress.
Mistress.
Only at the weekend. Only at the weekend. Well, boys, welcome Kitty back to the show. Welcome back in, Kitty.
Hello again.
Welcome to upstairs.
Thank you. It's getting really cold down there. If I can have a blanket, please.
No.
Oh, poor Kitty.
You've got Henry down there. That's all you need.
It's only if you win this game.
Yeah.
Same game as last week, and it's not often we play the same game 2 weeks on the bounce, but we got JT Valley to record so many Pokemon names, we kind of have to get through them at some point, else we'll still be using them.
So you're
next
stocked
year.
up. You're fully loaded.
So much so. So much so. So the rules are simple. I'm sure you remember. It was only 7 days ago. I'm going to play the name of a Pokemon backwards, and it's a free-for-all to see who gets the correct answer first. If you get the question correct, you're going to hear the old. But realistically, you're probably going to hear this one when you get it wrong.
Yay.
Oh, can't wait.
So,
My favourite sound effect.
That's my favourite sound effect.
I've got a Pokemon name for you here.
Oh, have
And
you?
I want to
Not
see
a-
if
not a
any of
pizza.
you can actually guess what this Pokemon is.
Here's the name.
Here's the there.
I'll play that again, yep.
Here's the name.
I know JT wasn't on Monkey Shoulder. This is the name of a Pokemon backwards. One more time.
Here's the name.
Mindfu.
I thought you got it for a second, actually, Mark.
Nummel. Have a guess, Kitty. Why not?
Meganium?
No.
Play it again, Vasa. Go on.
Play it again.
Here's the name.
No, it's backwards, so you...
That much is obvious.
Here's the name.
Cinderace. Bugger.
What is that Pokemon, Milo? What is that Gen 9 one that you and Kitty talk about?
Gen 8.
Oh, Gen
Pokemon
8.
Go now.
It's the bunny.
It's the bunny. It's the bunny. Milo.
This is
it's
the name
bunny.
of a Pokemon. It's not necessarily in Go. There's a clue for y'all.
Hariyama.
That very much is in
Hariyama's in
Pokemon.
Go. Yeah, that one is in there, Mark. So you get one of those.
But this isn't necessarily in the game. I know none of them then. So I'll leave you two to go. and
Can
guess
we have the soundbite again? Because I feel like
Yeah.
Kitty's the only one who has a
Yes.
vague hope in hell of this.
Here's the name.
Eternatus.
this. Ooh, I don't know what that is, but that sounds good. No.
No, it's definitely not in Go.
I don't know any Pokemon not in Go, so other than Mimikyu. Mimikyu.
Mark, Mimikyu. I'll
Oh,
play it one more time for you. Try and think of it backwards. Try and sound it out backwards.
Here's the name.
Masbostiff?
Ooh, getting close, but still no.
He says getting close, but it's like that could be
Okay.
any manner of things.
I'm going to give you a clue, and this...
Don't give
I'm
us the typing.
No.
Yeah.
Actually, I am going to give you the typing, and we're going to see how quick you all are on this
Well, I
one.
don't know it, so it doesn't matter. So if it's not in
This-
Pokemon Go, I don't know.
This
it.
Pokemon is a water-type mythical.
Manafi.
Oh, Manaphy.
He says not in Go. I always think of things that are like the later
Yeah,
generations.
Well done, Kitty. As soon as you said that, I was like,
Manaphy.
that's it. Well
Yeah,
done.
The
It
thing
is
that should have been
Manaphy.
Incineroar.
Yes, here's the reveal.
Manaphy.
It's his accent that makes
He's
it.
so
Very dramatic
enthusiastic.
delivery, yeah.
Yeah, it was Manaphy.
He drags the Manaphy, doesn't he? It should be Manaphy. Give us a chance, JT. Don't drag your A's.
Manaphy.
Right, okay. So, game point for Kitty, unless one of you can stop her. The next one we have is...
Mimikyu.
What?
I find that was
I
fairly
replied
annoying.
to that first one. I'll play it again for you.
Circuitry? Manaphy again.
Imagine Milo.
Just a different voice.
Without a dragged out A.
Just said it a bit less enthusiastically. No, it's not Manaphy again. No.
Fampy.
Vampy for Marky. Any more guesses, or would you like a clue?
Play it again for me. Caterpie.
Oh,
So no, it is right. I thought he was going to go wrong.
oh
It
Milo.
was the E at the end with the T in
So
there.
here we go. Ready? Backwards. Forwards.
Caterpie.
That's why I went circuitry first. It was the
So we have a game. In fact,
We have a game.
it's kind
Well done,
of...
Ian.
Yeah, well done, Ian.
Lexicon standoff.
I was going to say it's kind of a Mexican standoff, but Mark's still in the game. He's not out.
He could tie.
It's kind of a semi-Mexican standoff.
Semi.
A what?
Okay. It's a semi.
Jeez. That's a truck. Okay. Get your mind out the gutter, people.
Are we ready?
Yes, Ian. I'm
Yes,
ready.
Brooks.
That sounded so wrong.
One more time.
Brooks.
And I'm just looking at my list to make sure I've actually got the right Pokemon. I think
Scroopy?
Swaddle.
Yeah.
there is an S in it. There is an S in it. You close with...
Skarmory?
Okay.
Sobble. Sobble.
Ian, play it again.
Here we go.
Right,
Mine
okay,
is ears
play it
attuned. Here we go.
Would you like a clue with this one or not?
No, just play it again, Vasa.
Oh, here we go. He knows. He knows. He doesn't want a clue.
You can see the smirk on his face developing.
Yeah, you can.
Brooks.
Play it again without you jabbering all over it.
Okay, shut up then.
Brooks.
I think Mark was along the right
Yeah,
track.
Brooks.
Event-related Score Bunny. Recent Pokemon additions is what Ian likes to make people do.
He does. That's Score Bunny, isn't it? Yeah.
There you go.
I just thought Mark had got it when he went for the Gen 8 starter.
Score Bunny.
Score
All
Bunny.
that.
Score Bunny. Oh.
And actually, if anything, I thought you'd have got that one, Mark, because Milo's a Grookey guy.
Yeah.
Grookey guy.
I was just thinking Pokemon began with an S. I was...
Well, when you said
There's many
Sewaddle, I'm
of
like,
them.
oh, he knows it starts with an S. And then you
We all
said
kind of went
ones
along
that
the
started
same
with
route
S.
with that one.
Yeah. So it's a tough game. I don't know if I'd be able to do it.
Brooks.
There we go. Kitty, you are free. You may leave
Yeah.
the front door. You're finally free of the podcast.
No trapdoor for you anymore.
No, I can
Yes.
finally go home and be warm.
Until, we'll let you out of the basement. It's been a long month. Well, actually, it's nearly 2 months, isn't it? Because we've had breaks.
been a long
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's literally a 2-month sequence.
I'm kind of gutted in a way, Kit. It's been nice getting to know you
Yeah.
and your vast knowledge on Pokemon.
I've even had time
And-
to rearrange my collection behind me. We've been filming for that many weeks.
I know. The Psyducks have all moved.
They have. I got new ones, so they had to
Oh.
rearrange. But then I might have more new ones on the way, so they're going to have to rearrange again.
And that
More
huge
Psyducks.
sprig of
Yeah,
Psyducks is
always more
gorgeous.
Psyduck.
Yeah, that huge sprig.
That'll be
is
for the
gorgeous.
I want
next
to say, I
time.
think we got that one when we went to Go Fest in London from the Build-A-Bear. So I had to carry it around in a
Nice.
little backpack with its face poking out like a child.
Milo does
Have
the
you
same
got-
for Francesco, don't worry.
He's not a Build-A-Bear, though. No, but Kitty, you may have been beaten finally, but you had one of the most insanely long winning streaks ever. I don't think we've not had a winner 5 weeks in a row.
No.
Because we've usually sabotaged each other.
We never have, and I don't think anyone's ever going to be able to beat that streak, if I'm honest.
They won't. They
So,
won't.
I'm quite pleased with myself for 5 weeks in a row because I was worried that, all right, for Go Hub, I should know something about Pokemon. So I thought if I can just win 1 week, I'd be happy. And
You've defeated
spiraled
literally
out of
every
control.
one of our games. Thank you so much. But this isn't the end. We may bring you back at some point in the future.
for like a Champion of Champions episode or something.
Yeah, something like that.
So we need to find a worthy rival.
Yes.
Yes. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're free.
Yes. No. Thank
Well
you for
done,
having
Kate.
me.
So well done, Milo. I honestly did not think that any of us would ever beat Kitty on that one, but well played, Kitty. That is one hell of a streak that I think I'm safe in saying it will be hard to top.
We haven't topped it in 3 and a bit years of doing this podcast.
Really haven't. That's some going. So GG's, well played, Kitty, and thank you for coming on over the last few weeks. And whilst I'm on the thank you train, I would like to say thank you to everybody that supports this show. It really does make a difference. Just downloading and listening to us makes it worthwhile. But those of you that do support us monetarily through Patreon, that does allow us to put a little bit more effort into making this show sound as good
Nice.
as we like it to sound, because there is a lot of blood, sweat and tears that goes in not only into the recording but the behind the scenes of Incensed.
Nice.
And we really thank you. Our bronze and silver tier patrons, you are the backbone, and we thank you so very much. Our gold members,
Gold.
we have to
Nice.
really express how much your submissions mean to us, because it allows us to put that little bit more time into the edit and doing some of the things we do in person as well, because
Nice.
the money is generally reinvested back into the podcast. And our gold members, you are
Gold.
JB,
Nice.
Roper Seiler, Clifford Mert, Mr. Mossam, Mandy Croft, Darby Russ, Kerry and Zachary, Highbone, Barside, Connolly, Apex171, and Mufti. You guys, we can't thank you enough for the support of the show. And if you're listening and you want to know how to become a patron of the show, just go to patreon.com/Incense Podcast, and all of the instructions there. We have tiers starting at £1.50 a month, where you can go all the way through to our
Gold.
tier patron, which is £25 a month, and you can get the hijinks live every Tuesday night as we record the show. But
Shiny Jinx.
the thank yous don't stop there. We also need to thank our backstage team. Incense Podcast might be Milo, Mark, and myself, but there are people in the background doing stuff that you don't see. They're hard at work 24 hours a day, and we just want to thank I Am Pyrus and Hermes Ninja for everything that you do on this podcast. We couldn't do this without you doing what you do.
I went from being really poetic and lovely then, and then the goat got involved. What's that about, Ian?
I'm not controlling the soundboard today.
That wasn't me either. That was a genuine thank you from the goat.
Oh,
Yeah.
love it. Bless it, goat.
From the goat energy drink.
Potentially. Maybe I was it belching. I don't know.
It's a goat energy drink saying hello, okay, and thank you. All in one noise.
One symphony of noise.
Anyway, boys, speaking of a symphony of noise, it's time to hear your...
Shines of the week.
I have spied one of the most amazing
look blind?
catches. Potentially, yes, a little blind eye. 'cause-
Oh,
but I cannot quite believe that I'm seeing this right now. Mr. Mossam, one of the gold tier Patreon members, in our Discord has posted, it's a very elongated, so, oh my flipping good, hashtag Shinies of the week. It's a Shenando Squovet, 000 stat, red squirrel.
That's awesome.
That's beautiful.
That is.
That's actually insane. So big congrats on that one. And caught somewhere around England.
well done. Well done. That's good.
It's nice being good at the game.
Yeah, what does it feel like to be good at the game? So we've got one on X here for Mark Bailey, and this is a good one. Posted only 6 hours ago as we record the show. So 34 down, and I got a shiny Charmander. Now, okay, admittedly at the moment that wouldn't be as amazing as it sounds, but no, this isn't just a normal shiny Charmander. This is a Dynamax shiny Charmander.
Ooh.
Ooh, very nice, Mark. And Mark puts a really nice little comment below that says, it's fun at the moment to do something a little bit different and being able to do several for free. But I wonder if it'll turn into 1 tier 5 per day eventually. A little inquisitive face. Yes, it will. But enjoy it for now.
It will. And it'll be nice when we get a little bit more choice in Dynamax battles as well. But I'm jumping on...
Dynamax.
Nice. Shinamax.
Shinamax.
I'm jumping onto our Shiners of the Week section of our Discord server, and new Discord member, so therefore new Patreon member, Tony of Pride. Well, I've got to talk this one through because I kind of got this one in New York, didn't I, Whitfield? Just hatched my second...
Congrats on your shiny, by the way. I got it months ago.
Oh my god. My second shiny Larvesta. I never thought I'd get one, let alone 2 of them, in 2 weeks.
2 in 2 weeks?
Yes. That is just crazy. GG's Tony.
That's actually insane. I'm actually going to stick in the same channel. Discord, #Shinies of the Week. And this is from rwilso205. On a route listening to the Incensed podcast, and instead of getting my Zygarde cell, I got a level 1 shiny Flabebe at the end of the route. That's pretty fire. Big congratulations on that. It's not actually a route spawn, but level 1 shiny white flower Flabebe. Fantastic.
Right, we've got one here in the Flexi Good section.
Flexi Good.
David Silverman. Good boy. Love him. Arsenal fan.
Oh, wait, hang on.
Well, we'll end that one there. There we go.
I don't know. I don't know.
But no, fair play to him, because this wasn't caught in the wild. This one needs a little bit more luck, even though a hundo in the wild is very rare. Dave has now got his lucky hundo Stonjourner.
Oh, nice.
Ooh, a thing of beauty with the golden background. Well done, sir. And the Spingiana rightly says, amazing. It is amazing. It is. Well done, Dave.
And finally, to round out Shiners of the Week this week, I don't know how we missed this one, boys. Randy Sue, friend of the podcast, Viator12, posted this. Thank you so much, friends in New Zealand. I'm unsure if little 1NZ is here. #Phalanx, #Shiny Pokemon, #Pokémon GO. I guess I have to submit this for #Shiners of the Week at Incensed Podcast. This was my 4th raid, and he got the shiny... Actually, no, he got the Shundo Phalanx.
Oh,
on 4th raid.
On the
Unbelievable.
4th raid. Randy, my man, that is incredible.
Makes it from the crossbows. You got his 400 for raid, wasn't it?
That was 700, and that was only for a regular hundo as well.
GG's, Randy. That is amazing.
Well done,
mate.
Randy.
So big GG's on that front.
Well done, Randy. Well done.
Nice.
So some great shinies of the week there. Keep them coming. We love seeing them. We love reading them out, especially the ones that catch us off guard. That is just some crazy, crazy stuff. But speaking of crazy stuff, boys, I've got a question for you.
And now, children, it's time for Getting to Know You with the Incensed Podcast.
Now, this question is not really going to come as much surprise to anybody that knows me, Milo, or even the podcast. We are big fans of the Grand Tour and formerly Top Gear. So, with the Grand Tour finishing its run forever last week on Amazon Prime, it made me think, at some point, everything you do is the last time you do it, as quoted by Clarkson.
That was deep, Ian.
He gave a few more specifics, but we can't say what he said.
Exactly. No, I'm keeping it top line because I don't want to spoil anything. But the question I've got for you is, if Incensed Podcast were to end, and let's face it, at some point it will, how would you want the final show ever to be with the three of us? And I'm going to pass this over to Marky Boy first.
Yeah, we can't have back-to-back Top Gear references. That'll just be too much for the listeners.
Nice.
I'm only joking. So set the scene, boys. Right. So we've just recorded the Christmas show this year. We're getting to the end of it all. End of this year, 24. It's been a good run.
That's it.
It's been a good run. As I say, I'm joking aside, the What's Good podcast that I love, they've just announced that they're having a break now. After doing it for 3 years, they're taking a break. So
yeah,
we can align our calendars with... I'm joking, not this
Sync
year.
up.
Jesus.
We never miss a week.
We never miss a week. Yeah, they were so proud of us. They said, we've only missed a few weeks. I'm like, we never missed a week.
Noise.
Don't think you're good.
Don't think you're good. Get on our level.
Consistency.
We've
get on
never
our
missed
level.
a week, even when we've travelled around the world.
And that is why
It's called
We're good.
production.
It's called production, very much so. So anyway, imagine the scene. So this is how I envisage it. Well, our last episode, we know it's our last episode, and we all go, you know what? We've all done an incense on the water, so we go, do you know what? We have a nice incense recording on a little sailboat. 3 of us are on our sailboat. It's lovely, isn't it? You know, we're going out into the ocean. You know, big blue sky, clear sky. Sat there, we're just drifting, recorded the show, enjoying it, and then we look up ahead as we're reminiscing over the years that we've been doing the show, and we see a little bit of a greenish sort of glow in the sky, and we go, that's incense green up there. But then, as we get close to it, we just hear a thud. Yeah, and it's like the end of the Truman Show, and all we find some stairs.
We ran into a shipping container. Oh no!
No, the boat hits such
Reef
a wall.
and we drown.
Yeah, and we end up climbing up some stairs and exit the door, and it's the last time we record a show together. It'd be a bit dramatic at the end. It'd be like, oh, and that's the end. If you haven't seen the end of the Truman Show, spoilers. There you go. Has been around a while though.
It's an old film, yeah. It is an old film now.
It's an old film, so yeah, that's how I envisage our last show being, boys. We're having laughs on the little sailboat anyway. The boat that rocked.
Oh, good movie.
Very good movie.
With
Good movie reference there. Now, this is a very poignant question, really. Everything production-wise does come to an end at some point, and seeing what the Grand Tour did with regards to their finale, taking it back to their roots and everything like that, and doing the side-by-side comparison,
yes.
that was really, really beautifully done and everything. We can't really do that to an extent. Would be a problem. However, what I think would be nice is if we had a recording, perhaps Mark's gone on the water. Let's go next to the water on a nice, quiet, sandy beach. It would be a very nice, picturesque ending, perhaps with a video element to it. We could reminisce about all the things we've done together. And I think it'd be quite fun to listen back, like it'd be an elongated show, but listen back to a couple of episodes and commentate as we listen through them, right back through to eventually looking back at our very first ever show and seeing what absolute carnage and reckless hooligans we were and calling it there. And I think that would be quite a nice thing to do, is cycling it back through to where we began, but not by just repeating. Like, look how far we came in however long we were going for this thing.
And if you think about it, we have come a very long way it's almost 4 years.
Almost 4.
Yeah. And for me, I do agree that it would be difficult to do anything too crazy. I mean, if you look at our 1 year anniversary, that was just the biggest production we've ever done. And I don't think we could ever really top that. So I like both of your ideas. For me, I would like our last show to be something that we don't record virtually. I'd like it to be where the 3 of us are together, physically, in the same space. Maybe in an ideal situation to be at a live event where we've actually had just a crazy good time, a good adventure, and then we can just, one final sort of victory lap where we can just reminisce about the last X number of years that we've done the show. And one thing that I do like is we'll just cut the mics, a la how the Grand Tour ended.
Or just unplug.
We just unplug, done.
Unplug and throw the microphone as far as we can.
Well, I don't want to throw that. That costs a lot of money.
Oh, not that one. The one on the road.
Oh, the road mics, yeah, they can be thrown. So I think we all have similar ideas that would be together.
In person. There's definitely a
person,
consistent theme of we do it in person, which I think would be right.
And the good thing is, because we put this show together and we are not sponsored by any corporation, we could end this show however we wanted to on our own terms, and that is very important.
Yeah, with clean cut language and no swearing. That's what we're like. I'd love our last episode, like for the last 2 minutes before we go, just to be completely back to how it was in episode 1.
As our last sentences together are just full of expletives.
Yeah. Well, you know what, we could do that, and then we could say if anyone has an issue, they could write into us because we won't be here anymore.
Contact our WhatsApp number. It's +44. We don't care anymore.
+44 012 121
55555 555.
And I would just like to caveat that, and Kerry has made a good point in the chat. I'd like to caveat this by saying we have no plans on finishing the podcast soon. It just got me thinking by seeing the end of the Grand Tour, something that's been really important to me and Top Gear before that for the last 22, 23 years. And I know Milo and I talked about this at the weekend. It has had a big influence on the way we put our content and this show together.
But as with all partnerships are free, there's also someone that has to dilute it a little bit, so don't go too weighted one way, because I'm sure there's plenty of people that feel about this with other shows as well. I felt quite sad when Scrubs came to an end, because Scrubs got me through some dark days. And I remember
I love
watching that.
Scrubs. I still watch Scrubs regularly.
Yeah, but I think the only difference with Scrubs was, and I say it's a bit of love, is that I think how they've ended the Grand Tour was done with style, with a bit of finesse, a little bit of flair.
Well, we don't know because Amazon still want to run the Grand Tour with new hosts,
okay.
so they could do
the
a Scrubs
end of
Med
Clarkson, Hammond, and May.
Yeah, Clarkson, Hammond, and May. It's
Yeah.
done with a bit of integrity. I think Scrubs, unfortunately, they just dragged it on for as long as they could have
It
kept
should have
half the
finished after
actors in
season
it.
8,
Yeah,
season 9. Med School
absolutely.
really finished. That should have just been a spin-off show, not Scrubs.
Yeah, when the writers' strike came, it all went a bit weird then, didn't it? But the point being is, I think everybody can resonate with how shows have ended. I think shows are very powerful and how they impact people's lives and how they allow people to help them get through situations. And
Yeah, absolutely.
yeah. As you are hopefully listening to the show, there is an event that will still be on. It will end very shortly.
Some parts of the world, yeah.
A research day coming up. We have spoken about this in detail previously, but Oranguru and Passimian between 2 and 5 p.m. If you're listening back, and this is an old episode, it happens on Sunday, September the 22nd. Okay. But yeah, we love it. And this is the first one of the new season. I think these are fantastic events. I love research days. And we've got a bit of double jeopardy involved because one of the Pokemon has been released before at previous Go Fest. I think it was last year, Oranguru. But we also have Passimian that has been in the game, but it is its shiny debut. So just think about the challenge we had with Help Me Boys with the research day that had 2 versions in it, and we had to try and get Stunfisk.
Yes, Stunfisk and Galarian Stunfisk.
That is it. But we're going to have 2 of them. Both of them can be shiny. It is an increased chance. And spin a Pokestop, get a research task, get an encounter.
And Milo's going to be really happy with this one because it's monkey-themed.
Yeah, he loves
And
a
sloth themed.
Well, there is, because the wild encounters, Mankey, Apom, Slackoth, Chimchar, and Grookey, all of your favourites.
Literally couldn't be any better.
Is this a Milo event? Is this the Milo
This was put
research day?
together especially for Milo, I think.
Yeah, I got a little personal letter and everything from Mr. Hankey.
I bet you did, Sunshine. I bet you did.
It said,
Oh.
Hardy ho, Milo.
I'm not sure if it was related. It's just a very weird thing to receive in the post.
Exactly. Well, with this research day, as Ian said, there are the wild spawns, but we do also have a paid time research ticket, which will be
Nice.
$2 or the equivalent pricing in your local currency. It will give you an exclusive time research. It will challenge you to complete field research tasks to encounter more of the feature Pokemon. So, yeah, Oranguru,
If that's
Simeon,
branched, that might help actually go in for the one that you're targeting.
absolutely. Great. Milo, wash your mouth, Sunshine.
I want it focused on Chimchar.
The FOMO monkey.
We said this when these dates came out before they put a bit of detail behind them. We love research days. They are
Yeah,
probably
absolutely.
right up there with community days. And the beautiful thing with a research day is you've got complete control of how you play it. So enjoy it. I'm sure as episode 190 drops, we're going to hear all about your successes.
How the monkey and sloth hunt went.
All right, Milo, talking about the sloth. No one cares about the sloth.
Everyone loves the sloth.
Oh, dear. But yeah, it's going to be fun. It is going to be fun.
Hashtag fun.
Oh, yeah.
Jinx.
NUF.
We're getting towards the end of the show now, not long to go. But we've had another WhatsApp message. Richard's been back on, Big Bro GB 2020, with a bit of an update.
Love an update.
Okay, lads. It's Rich, aka Big Bro GB 2020. After my horrible miss of the article note on my daily incense last month, maybe, little Zapdos showed up today. Took a little 1-star, nice little throw with an Ultra Ball, and it landed. Nothing like catching a legendary bird off the daily incense.
Oh, congrats.
Also, just attached all the lovely shinies that I caught whilst on a little weekly trip down to Devon. Crap signal, lads. But 6 shinies,
really?
including my lovely brown Colin Caterpillar. Hashtag, not just any caterpillar, an M&S caterpillar. Anyway, yeah, and a little listen to the Tony TM show. And as always, lads, great listen. Keep up the good work. and go catch some legendaries and shinies. Hashtag shinies of the week.
It sounded like you could hear Articuno, the wrath of Articuno in the background. It's like an icy chill was flying past him.
An icy chill of a motorway.
It did. That was definitely recorded on the road. And you could hear the shriek of the traffic.
Well, that was also hashtag Colin the Caterpillar.
Colin the Caterpillar and landing a Galarian bird. That's
Yeah.
definitely not
That's
using
amazing.
a Master Ball. That's a
Redemption.
achievement.
Redemption. Yeah, very good, very good. I was
Noise.
I didn't know where it was going to go. I thought he said, and it landed.
Landed.
So thank you, Richard, for the message. GG's. Now, speaking of redemption, Marky, last Saturday it was Ponyta and Galarian Ponyta Community Day. Let's have a few minutes of just talking about this rather unique Community Day, shall we?
Noise.
I'm a bit more hyped about Sewaddle than I was about Ponyta, despite the triple catch dust, which is a lovely bonus, but at the end of what was a very adventurous and fun, different day, I ended up with exactly the same amount of Stardust that I started with. So it was literally a net zero.
Ooh, government campaign, a net zero. Well done, Milo. You've got
Oh
to
no, we're
net
not talking about
zero.
eco-mentalism, goodness me. Myself and Vasa decided to make a bit of a trip. Obviously, we're sort of throwing out Grand Tour and Clarkson Farm references very frequently throughout these shows. If you know those, then you know Chipping Norton is, and Chadlington, the home of Clarkson's Farm shop and the farm itself. And what, about half an hour away is his brand new pub, the Farmer's Dog. We decided to turn Ponyta and Galarian Ponyta Community Day into a small road trip adventure. We drove into Chipping Norton, arrived 20 minutes late thanks to me.
Milo doesn't know how to plan travel, Mark.
No, he hasn't done that before, has he, Ian? We've experienced that before, haven't we?
Frequently.
Well, to be fair, 2 years ago, actually it was over 2 years ago, wasn't it? The last time we went to the Starbucks just next to
Yeah, it
Banbury.
was March 2022 last time.
Yes.
But
So,
Ian,
long
Milo
time
has to escape London. Remember
That's always his excuse, but then you just plan that time into your travel time.
exactly.
Well, I did.
Oh,
And then the
Milo.
M40 decided to go, hell nah. And somebody else decided to have an accident in the roadworks section.
I had to navigate around a detour due to an accident, and I was still on time.
Yeah,
Well,
how'd it
unfortunately,
go,
there was no
Milo?
detour.
Hell yeah. Was it hell no?
Hell nah. You ain't going anywhere. There was no detour, unfortunately, where I could go. So we were a bit late, half an hour late to the meetup point. But to be honest,
Oh, Milo.
was it really the worst thing in the world to be late for?
Not really,
No,
no.
because what resulted was a very fun little game. Ian and I played the coin flip, flip it to win it game.
Oh, the toss it to keep it one, wasn't it? There's a
Toss it to keep it. Don't think we can brand it as that. But keeping your shiny meant you had to call heads or tails correctly. I don't know how many I transferred, but it was a really fun day. And it's quite a nice, elaborate way of basically keeping your shiny total low, because before this column day, I didn't need Ponyta or Galarian Ponyta at all. I had too many of them to start with, so getting rid of as many as possible was kind of a blessing in disguise in a way. It was a fabulous day. Walked up to Diddley Squat Farm from Chipping Norton, bought a few bits and pieces, got a shiny at Diddley Squat Farm, which was
I think
kind
we
of
all
an
did,
end
actually.
goal. Yeah, all of us got a Galarian Ponyta though. I had to transfer a Kanto one. So Com Day finished, and then we rounded it out by going to Clarkson's pub, where we discovered Ian, there was no food.
Well, there
Again.
wasn't, and I know I'm jumping in here because it's not my turn yet, but before we went to the community today, I went onto the Farmer's Dog website. I screenshotted.
I went on the internet.
Yes, I went onto the internet and I did a thing. And on Tuesday, the website was saying that we're not taking reservations at the moment. Availability is on a first-come, first-served basis. So with that, we turned up to
Back to the studio.
pub. I thought we was going to get a table to eat. It turns out, however,
They were fully booked because they started taking bookings from Wednesday. So I swear I checked the website later that week and it still said we're not taking reservations, but maybe I was wrong. So we couldn't get any dinner, but we could get some crisps and some drinks. But we ended up, having a bit of time there with a lovely view of the Cotswolds. Fantastic sunset. It was actually a really lovely evening. Long day, to be honest. But honestly, for a lackluster community day, it was a top quality adventure. What about you, Marky? I forget, because I didn't need either shiny. Did you need either the My Little Pony or the blue torch horse?
Sadly not, but they are both solid shinies. And I think one thing that I probably forgot was actually how good they are. Even though I say plenty, that's a bit insulting actually. I didn't have plenty. I had, I think 3 Galarian ones and I think a couple of 2 or 3 Cantonian ones. I kept calling them Cantonian Ponytars. I didn't need to. I hadn't evolved actually a Galarian one, so it was a new evolution for me on the day. It was very chilled. I didn't have time to play a lot of it, but hey, not upset about that. We all have. Life's different for everybody. I keep saying with one hand how much I hate Sunday com days and want them on Saturdays, but actually Saturdays are probably more inconvenient, which is just
not ideal.
But hey, we all play them differently. So for me, very chilled out. Was down by the canal, 45 minutes. I got myself out and played it for. Beautiful day. Saw a lot of nature. Saw a lovely heron. It was just beautiful
nice.
in and around nature.
Nice.
But other than that, it was good fun. Got a couple of decent 3-star shinies in the wild, but I found I got more shiny Galarians than Kanto ones. I don't know if you guys felt the same. But
I mean, I ended up keeping more Galarian ones. I'm sure I transferred a lot of Kanto. I think it was about equal for me, but it did seem like more Galarian were around.
They're good shinies, though, aren't they? And I forgot that. When you see them on the screen, they're really nice. They are
shinies. Good quality.
And, pleased now I can put some energy and effort into Sewaddle. So, Ian, come on. What did Milo miss out on his little story?
Milo covered most of it. It was a long day, don't get me wrong. It was a very long day. But inversely, it was probably my favourite community day this year.
I would put it up there, to be honest. Yeah.
It was not because of the Pokemon, because, yes...
Really? Funny that.
Yeah. What I'm getting at is the Kanto Ponyta is a great shiny with that sort of blue gas flame mane. The Galarian Ponyta is a nice Pokemon. They're not the most exciting, which is kind of why we decided to do this road trip and it was the day after the last ever Grand Tour, so the theory behind both of it was a way how we could kind of say goodbye and pay tribute through the videos that were made. And it was a fun day. The Flip It to Win It added a little bit of jeopardy in that we'd got the plan for the loser buyer's dinner, which didn't come to fruition. In fact, with a bit of foreshadowing, Milo said to me about an hour into the community day, Waterfall, your dinner is going to be a bag of crisps.
I forgot I'd said that.
And it ended up being that.
Coming true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was just a good day.
Noise.
The farm shop has changed substantially since we went 2.5 years ago. There is now smaller queues, a lot more car parking, an overflow car park, and a one-way system. It's like a different place. There's also a gym there now, new stops, and power spots.
Oh, there's the Diddley Squat Rock.
Yes. In itself, that is great. The Farmer's Dog is a beautiful location. Our GPS took us down some of the narrowest single carriageway roads that were not really much wider than our cars. But when we got there, beautiful location, great scenery. It was an awesome sunset. But I do have to say this, and I said it on my video, Milo said it on his video, but the host, when we were trying to get into the pub, who told us we couldn't have dinner, told us that the
Grand Tour tent,
closed at 7:30 p.m. So we had a drink, we had a bag of crisps. We went over at 2 minutes past 7. We thought we'd get 20 minutes or so in the tent, having a look around and just sort of reminiscing. And they closed the tent at 7 p.m.
They literally shut it all up. And we're like, what?
Which was an epic fail. But all in all, it was a great community day. And the weirdest thing ever, we've never done a challenge where both me and Milo or me and you or a challenge where an Incensed challenge where
there was a tie.
We tied.
It was oddly very close as well because you only had one more. You had one extra Galarian Ponyta compared to my one extra Kanto.
Yeah.
So in terms of the number of shinies we got per regional variant, it was very similar as well.
Yeah, you had 3 Kanto, I had 2 Kanto.
Yeah, it was one of those things, you're playing the game as you go along through the day, and you honestly kind of just blurred into one. I don't remember how many we transferred or how many I kept until I checked at the end of the day. We were just having a really fun day. It was only 4 of us, so Dwayne and Francesco joined us. And it was a really, just really good laugh.
And we saw a very pretty paramedic.
I remember the Mr. Blobby cookies
that you dropped on the floor. Still,
mine fell apart, and then Ian gave me some head.
Well, yeah, but I'd been eating the leg. I didn't really want the bit where my mouth had been round.
No, I don't want your footsie.
Exactly. I've got to say, and you both said this, I'm looking forward to Sewaddle. If the three of us can do something together for Sewaddle,
Definitely.
that would be good.
So we're going to give it a 10, a rating out of 10, shall we?
The Pokemon plays very mindly into the day. The overall experience, I mean, we advertised that we would be there. Realistically speaking, chipping up and you don't expect people to turn up. They didn't. So we had the most chilled community day ever. I didn't even mega evolve. I didn't even drop a star piece. It was just the most non-community day for me. But I had a blast. The day overall, I'm going to give it a 9.
A solid 9. What about you, Marky?
When I look back at some of the footage I took, some of the colours, some of the vibrant colours, and actually walking up a different part of the canal I've not walked up before, and just getting submerged in nature. For me, the game was very much not the focus either. I totally get it, how it would be appealing for a lot of players. It wasn't a horrible community day, any stretch to Stardust. I set myself a target, which I'd achieved. But I think for me, it was just having that time away from everything else and just enjoying sights that I hadn't really seen before. Linked to Hawkstone Lager, all the hawk moth larvae were starting to cross the path, so they've been migrating to pupate. But I've never seen that before, and apparently it happens rarely this time of the year. So I'm talking like big, they're really big.
Thick.
Yeah, so that was quite a nice moment. So yeah, for me, I'd give it a good 8 out of 10. The game was a part of that. I think I want to include the feeling as well because it was really nice. So good 8 out of 10.
And overall, as a day and experience, it would be a 9 out of 10 just because of how fun we made it. That's the key thing. We did something with that day and had a blast together. But I've got to say, honestly, the Ponyta element to the community probably only picks like 2 points or 3 points out of that, to be honest. They're good shinies, and I know plenty of people who needed either the Kanto or the Galarian one, so there was some hunt for other trainers. But for us,
I'd had the Galarian traded to me, so technically I needed to catch one of my own.
Yeah, but it's sort of one of those things like once you've got your shiny, then it doesn't really matter. And I know Triple Dust, like if we hadn't gone on this trip, I probably would have grinded much more for the dust, but it would have been far duller as an experience. That's sort of the thing with the community days. If you make something of it, it feels like a much more rewarding day and experience.
Would you give it then?
9.
9.
Oh, 9. 9. No.
So we didn't put a poll up tonight, but based on our question from getting to know you, we did put a post out to get your feedback on your favourite ever series finale.
It's not a traditional poll tonight, but I think we'll all read some of the responses. So we asked you to share with us your favourite final ever episode, some shows you enjoy and why. I put a nice little gif at the end of Friends when they're all in the apartment and they're all there. I resonate with Kitty Pokemon's a lot's response because Schitt's Creek, absolutely. It really showed the growth and development of every character. It was perfect. And a bit less known one, Oz. I haven't seen Oz, but the bus driving away from the prison with no real answers or end, fitting for a show about prison reform and rehabilitation. But yeah, definitely Schitt's Creek. Resonate with that one, Kitty. Good answers. Good answers.
And this is a great answer, and again, a great series finale. Kiwi Steve 007 said Breaking Bad was great throughout and a climactic ending, and that was just the perfect ending to a very, very perfect piece of TV.
Indeed, and I think KT180X is very along the lines of the GIF that was attached to the post. Friends is still my all-time favourite, even though I bawled like a literal child through the whole thing.
And I referenced it earlier, and yeah, Tudor 7, My Last Day, the finale to season 8 of Scrubs. There was no season 9, but seeing all the characters end in really great places, both personally and professionally, and summing it up with cameos of past characters and the montage of what will be, chef's kiss. Absolutely.
Yeah, they should have ended the series 8.
Yeah.
Season 9 should have been a completely new spin-off show. We've already talked about that one. Sue, Hermes Ninja, our very own admin, says, and a great series finale. I was going to say Seinfeld because the finale perfectly reflected the antisocial, intentionally obnoxious tone and tenor of the show. But instead, I'm going to go with Monk. Oh, okay, I would have gone with Seinfeld, but so she's gone with Monk. Tied up all the loose ends and tugged at the heartstrings without feeling contrived or maudlin.
And finally, Lucy Silver, showing my very 90s influenced age. The final 2-parters of both Star Trek Voyager
series
and Charmed, and also Dawson's Creek.
Oh, yeah. Wow, that is
so
90s.
You've got a selection there, but choices.
Voyager and Dawson's Creek. Yeah, I remember those a long time ago.
A long time ago, wasn't it, Dawson's Creek? Yeah,
90s,
absolutely.
Yeah. Okay, boys, what were your favourite TV finales?
Oh, that's a good question. I mean, we obviously
Let's take Grand Tour out of the mix.
I'm going to take that out of the equation. I think for me, a show I really, really liked and I thought ended very nicely. It was one of the shows that kind of cycled back to the beginning, was Hustle on the BBC. That ended very, very well by repeating the same kind of heist that they did on episode 1 of series 1. But then it sort of revealed that it was all in the movie set and everything like that. So I thought that it was a very, very good way to end up that show.
Yeah, I know the one you mean, Mino. I do know the one you mean, actually.
With the likes of Robert Vaughan.
I mean, very clever. I did like Hustle, actually. Very, very
show.
good. For me, I think it's easy to sort of think that it needs to be something that's emotionally attaches you to it to be a really good ending to a series, but it doesn't have to be like that at all. I do resonate with Schitt's Creek. I discovered Schitt's Creek very late on. You see how the characters all come together at the very beginning and how it ends. All the characters have matured in their own ways and have learned valuable lessons from their unplanned scenario of having to sort of almost scrap to live away from their sort of exclusively rich and probably not so healthy lifestyles, actually. If you haven't seen it, watch it. I do think it's worth watching. But for me, I loved Frasier. Frasier was a fantastic show. It's quite a nice way to end it. Obviously there have been spin-offs, but the 11 seasons at Frasier, the true seasons of Frasier, I think it captured everything. It had the wedding, birth, Daphne and Niles' baby. Frasier turning to Chicago at the end. His new love, Charlotte. I think it was quite a nice way to end it. So yeah, I'll probably say Frasier.
Yeah, and I find it a really tough question to answer, to be honest. Thinking back, I loved... At the time, I haven't seen it for a long, long time. I loved the Cheers series finale back in the day. That was really quite emotional for me at the time. But I like a finale that isn't final, if that makes sense. So what they did with the Big Bang Theory, where with Friends, it was a good finale, but they all went on their own separate ways. With the Big Bang Theory, when they ended that, it ends, but it doesn't end in that you can still imagine them all hanging out together and carrying on with their lives. So I kind of like that because the last thing anybody wants to do is see a massive change in something that they love. So I kind of like that.
I agree with that, Ian, actually. That Big Bang's a good one.
So, boys, 189 is in the can. And was it that bad, Whitfield?
Just saw that sound effect finally on the listing.
Celebration of a great episode.
But we've got something percolating, something cooking for next week, haven't we? We're not going to spoil what it is, but next week should be a slightly different show.
Yes.
I probably should have read out the power things for Sewaddle, shouldn't I, earlier? I feel like I could have set us up.
We'll have a 60-second recap of Sewaddle next week. But thank you very much for listening. We've already thanked you all that support the show. Don't forget, you can reach us on any socials, X, Instagram, Threads, through our WhatsApp number, through email. There's loads of ways you can reach us.
Guys, I've got some mediocre news.
What?
Well, M is for mediocre and also M is for Match-Up Spotlight Hour. Taking place, I should say, on Tuesday, the 24th of September. It's got 2 times catch candy with it.
Yeah.
Go on.
And all I can say is, on that terrible disappointment, we'll be back next week.
For you.
I choose you!